Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good day.
Yeah.
This is a good day. We it, so much has been going through my mind this past week. It was Father's Day, July June 18, 1995. Father's Day. Oscar Tommy took his last breath. Mom said he did it so we'll never forget him. Father's Day. And it's hard to do. And we want to just say thank you on behalf of the family for such a nice building buildings and what's yet to come. You know, you've done what Oscar Tommy was all about. He was that person who brought people together. Sometimes they didn't want to be together. Sometimes they did it through demonstrations. He did it through those meetings. Sometimes they showed up late at night and while these folk at our house. But he brought people together. Now, when I was a teenager, we lived in a neighborhood where some of our neighbors had dirt floors. When I visited, you saw, but you didn't say anything. Matter of fact, I don't think I even talked about it until I was in my late 20s, early 30s. But I remember my neighbors had dirt floors. Then, fast forward a few years later, somehow or another, there was a project called, I believe it was called Urban Renewal. That was to move people from low income houses or houses with dirt floors to nicer communities and nicer houses. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a big deal. He brought people together. I remember those people and those officials. I don't remember who they were because you got to remember when you're 18, 19, you wasn't exactly paying attention to all of that. But I remember those people visiting. And I remember he telling us about this is what we are trying to do. It came to pass. People moved, they upgraded. That was a big deal. If you can only imagine going from a dirt floor to a house with air conditioning.
Amen.
Now, it is fitting, I think, that someone, this um, housing authority, decided to name this project, this community rather, after Oscar Tommy, because that's what he was all about, helping people. He put it all on the line. Some people do lip service. Some people sit around and complain. Some people just talk about it and say, well, they're not talking about me. Well, he took it personally. He got involved. He made things happen. He brought those necessary people together. Now, for those of you who live or will live here in this community, know that your community is named after a good man.
Yes, it was.
It will be up to you, though, to make it a good community.
That's right.
By just like the young man said, no, I saw some paper on the ground and I picked it up. That's what you do to make your community. Oftentimes we live in subdivisions now where you have homeowners associations, and that homeowners association makes sure that everything is in order, everything is in line, your grass is cut. Oh yeah, if you don't cut it after a few weeks, somebody knocks on the door. Well, whether that happens over here or not, I don't know. However, take it personally. The community is yours. enjoy yourself, raise your families. And see, whenever I talk about my Alberta, where I grew up, I talk about it with a sense of pride because we had a little bit of everything there. A little bit of everything. So hopefully that the families will live here likewise. They'll talk about their community, their neighborhood with a sense of pride. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Oscar Tommy family, the grandkids, the great-grandkids, the in-laws, the outlaws, and all of it, the extended versions, we thank you.
All right.
Walter Cooper, you did your thing.